Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We return here to Grumbletooth. He's our fighter of Makleb. You haven't missed anything. I started recording this video a few minutes ago and didn't have my microphone turned on. So, for real this time, we are going to go to the depths, I think. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. I don't want to take on Volts 5 yet, because we're definitely not strong enough for that. And Elf 3... Oh, what is this greatsword again? Oh yeah, nothing exciting. On top of being potentially life-threatening, Elf 3 probably won't contain a whole lot of stuff that's of very much interest to us. So, not a ton of incentive to go there. I think probably fire resistance at this point is going to be a good idea. Our armor class is high enough that we probably won't be using this ring of protection anymore. A 15-20% boost in armor class is much more significant than a 10% boost, especially once you get up into the higher. Oh, and we don't want rings of magical power, so we can turn that off. Where are they? Here we go. You can access that screen, by the way, by hitting the / key, or / key, right, /, the one that's above the enter key on your standard PC keyboard. And then you hit the minus key, /, and then minus, which is next to the 0 key on your standard PC keyboard. Black Mambas, we ain't scared of Black Mambas, even when they're shapeshifters in disguise. Oh, Luganu. As well as a gateway to the Abyss. Luganu's a really interesting goddess. Luganu the Unformed. The Abyss is actually somewhere that we might consider going. A dire elephant. A dill elephant. I think we're pretty much not scared of those, yeah. We're much stronger than dire elephants at this point. A hat! Not as good as our helmet, likely. This is not a magical hat. And let's eat some dragon. It's interesting that dragon is not considered contaminated meat. You get full nutrition from it. We have another dragon hide, fire dragon hide, and ice dragon hide lying around somewhere, so we're not too concerned about losing those. We can just sacrifice them to Makleb. And a minotaur wielding a runed glaive, huh? We're much stronger than a minotaur. We are a dwarf. This is kind of an interesting level. I maybe should be a little more careful than I am being. An orb of eyes, huh? And a Rakshasa. Well, let's beat up the Rakshasa first, along with all its clones. Rakshasas clone either themselves or other creatures around them, so it behooves you not to engage them when you're surrounded by enemies. Armor and dodging. Did dodging... Ah, yeah, just shortly before we killed that centaur. Okay. So they're both at 15. That's pretty good. Getting there. Yeah, I just really like this spread. It might be spreading us a little thin, but it's not like training any one of these more heavily is going to benefit us any more than the others. I mean, I guess we could focus shields only until it got to 25, so we could use our large shield without penalty, but I don't know, that seems like a, seems like an over-focus. Another Rakshasa. Rakshasas are pretty dangerous. Particularly Mara, the Lord of Illusions. It's a unique Rakshasa that causes a great deal of trouble. The Rakshasa clones are sort of illusory. They will disappear once you kill the true Rakshasa, but they still do damage and whatnot, so it's very difficult to tell which one is the true Rakshasa. Mm-hmm. It's a very twisty, turny depths level. Ooh, Hell Knights. We should be able to kill Hell Knights. I retreated from some in the Hall of Blades earlier, because they came in conjunction with a number of other... I'm really glad we have on our Ring of Fire Resistance now. We're being blasted with all these things. We're probably losing scrolls like crazy. Yeah. At least one. I've kind of written our scrolls off as a wash at this point. We went a really long time without a source of preservation, and by the time we found it, we already had this really, really good cloak that we don't really want to give up. I mean, we would drop down to what, 27, maybe 28 armor class and 25 evasion. Yeah, doesn't seem like a good trade-off. Our scrolls are nice, but I don't know. Whatever. Scrolls and potions. Gateway to Hell. One option for us is to challenge Hell itself and kill Geryon, or Garyon, the sort of boss, mini-boss. He's really not all that difficult in the vestibule of Hell. And that would let us access the treasure trove that we found earlier in the dungeon, which could be very useful for us. I guess let's switch over this ring, since these guys are currently cold aspected, I believe. Oh, electricity. Well, doesn't do us any good at all, then. They change colors periodically. Rakshasas. So frustrating. But we are strong. We are strong, we are Dwarf. It's kind of an interesting level design. An Etin. This could hurt. I forget what orange brains do. I think they feed on our intellect, yeah. But they're not particularly tough once you can close with them. Still using our nifty little sword of summoners. Such a pain. Oh, that troll is not summoned. It's a real troll. Well, we'll kill it anyway. Still using our sword of electrocution. Cool artifact that we found. I forget where we found it, but we found it a little while ago. It was a good find. I have been liking it quite a bit. Death Yaks. We are so much stronger than Death Yaks at this point that we can just chop them down. If we can take on dire elephants without too much of a problem, we can take on Death Yaks without a problem. Alright, let's keep going in the depths. Another level, maybe. Ooh, an interdimensional caravan. Neato. Ooh, and a ziggurat. Huh. We have to have 3 runes of Zot to enter it, but we want 3 runes of Zot eventually anyway. Not that we would immediately enter a Ziggurat regardless. That seems like a good way to die pretty quickly. Ziggurats are really, really tough. Let's explore another entrance here. I want to see... hopefully this is the entrance up this way. Oh, nope. Just a portal to hell. Nothing exciting. Nothing to see here. Yeah, that other situation was just a little hairier than I wanted it to be. And it didn't cost us anything to leave. Ah, there's the bazaar. I wonder how bizarre it will be. Ha 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 ha, I'm so clever. Oh, let's chop up one of these guys for good measure before we pop in here. Bazaars are just these sort of traveling portals of shops. There's not necessarily anything good in them, as we can see from these 2 worthless shops, and... Ooh, a distressingly furry robe. That could be good. Yeah. Swamp Dragon armor I don't recall being very good. Let's examine it and see. Oh, poison resistance? Meh. Base armor rating 7, encumbrance rating 7. Yeah, ours is very much better. Oh, but there's a cool quotation. His scales are his pride, shut up together with close... Oh. That's odd. I do not recall that quote from the Book of Job, but... that certainly doesn't mean it wasn't there. Yeah. Well, this is the only thing worth buying, but, you know, it's worth checking out. Where did it go? Oh, a robe, not a cloak. Oh, no. Totally worthless to us. Ah, well. I don't think we spent that much money on it anyway. 100 some odd gold. We might as well cart it out of the bazaar with us. There's no reason to just abandon it forever. Yikes. Let's not be just straight up surrounded by these guys. We can sort of pull a couple of them up here. And throw on this ring of fire resistance instead of cold. I don't know exactly what the rhyme or reason is to the ugly things and very ugly things color changes. They seem to have an affinity for... like, they'll transform if you... If they're standing next to one of a different color, they tend to shift towards the same color, I think. And certain types of energy will cause them to shift. Like any kind of mutagenic energy. Any kind of glow. A couple scrolls of remove curse to replace the... Ow. Yeah, cold hurts us quite a bit still. We don't have that ring of resistance equipped. Has a chance to hurt us even so. This vampire... Yeah. I was about to say, some of these things will be taken care of as soon as we kill the vampire, and that's not too bad. Man, ugly thing zombies are even uglier than regular ugly things. Suppose that makes sense. This seems pretty easy. I shouldn't get overconfident, but... I'm not seeing this as being a big problem for us so far. These depths here. Altar to Okawaru. We tried worshipping Okawaru with our last Deep Dwarf. Didn't go very well. What scrolls do we have left? Holy Word and Silence? Seems like either of those could be reasonable. Da 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 da. Lich. Liches are pretty dangerous. Not nearly as bad as ancient liches. The older they are, the more dangerous they are. They have had countless eons to perfect the sorcerous arts. Ooh, let's not have two ends bashing us at once if we can help it. That seems like a good way to end our life prematurely. I think dexterity is still the way to go. Yeah. Gives us more damage than anything else. Great sword's not really interesting to us. Well, let's sort of back around the corner. Tengu warriors are not as scary as their spellcasting counterparts. La da 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 da. Oh, this is an actual bone dragon and not just a dragon skeleton. Interesting. Doesn't have a breath weapon, though, which is nice. Huh. But there is the dragon. Life of Confucius. This is... Oh, these quotes are so cool. Quotations, sorry. If that's one of those things that bothers you. Yeah, this game is just so neat. So much flavor to it. Every character tells a story. It's one of the reasons why I actually like the presence of ghosts in the dungeon. Your failed attempts at retrieving the Orb of Zot haunting you for... Well, not forever, but until you kill them. Titans are pretty dangerous. Bolt hurling, lightning bolt hurling, yeah. Hesiod. That's cool. I like it. Emperor Scorpion. Oh, yikes. Let's at least get out of line of sight of the flayed ghost and see if we can kill it. Oh, that was very dangerous. Whew. Yikes. A flayed ghost in conjunction with anything else is really scary. Okay, shields is going to get harder and harder to train as it gets higher and higher in level. What if we focus shields? Give it a little more oomph. Yeah. Let's do that. I don't know if that's good. Maybe not, but... Chop up this Titan. Titan flesh. Also good for you. Who knew? It's a little hard to... Ooh, Sphinx. Yikes. This is a situation from which we should retreat rather quickly. Breaking line of sight as much as we can. Sphinxes have a very annoying habit of paralyzing you at really bad times, like any time. And we have, you know, a good amount of magic resistance. 3 pips is pretty decent. But I wish to take no chances. One of my first forays into the depths was cut short by a Sphinx. It was it was so sad. I was really strong, and it just paralyzed us, and we were chopped down in our prime. But as if you're fighting them by themselves, they're not too bad. It's just most sources of paralysis aren't um, they're not strong enough. They don't have enough spell power to really get through your resistances at this point in the game. But Sphinxes have a ton of spell power, so yeah. Another book, an inconspicuous book. Interesting. What kind of book? The Disquisition on the Entourage. What does it have? Some summoning spells? Abjuration is actually a really good one to have. So let's memorize that. Yeah. And then we'll just drop it. We can drop this robe, too. There's no chance we're switching to a robe at this point in the game. Yeah, I mean, we can't cast Abjuration. It's level 3, and level 3 is just far beyond our reach. But if we find ourselves with all of our skills maxed out, and we have some extra experience that we want to throw into spellcasting, it actually wouldn't be the worst idea that I've ever had to train summoning up a little bit. For the simple reason that having Abjuration to deal with hostile greater servants is pretty nice. Abjuration reduces the duration of a summoning, a summoned creature. I think the depths are treating us rather well for now. I will go ahead and explore them some more here. Let's actually pull these guys upstairs. Flying skulls, unlike many undead creatures, can follow you upstairs. I don't know how that works exactly, but, you know, they're flying. We'll say that's why. Normal skeletons have a difficult time with stairs, I guess. Oh, yikes. We may be banished to the abyss here. Oh, no. Good. We were not. Ow! Stupid ice attacks. No fun at all. It's also a place in the Florida Keys. Just kidding. Oh, dear. Right, so Komodo Dragon, Fire Dragon, the latter being significantly stronger. Flying skulls are actually not that scary by themselves. I'm not even sure what they do. Aside from shriek. They make lots of noise that... That's an interesting tile. A stone wall just in the middle of nowhere? Interesting. Ah, that ziggurat is calling to me. Ah, gateway to Pandemonium. Pandemonium is really cool. It's a very, very challenging, fun part of this game. I have had a couple of characters that I have taken into Pandemonium. Only one of which was able to really survive. The others sort of went in, wandered around for a little bit, got aced by a... Ah, the crossbow of Hellfire. That's a really cool crossbow. It does some good work. But we have no desire to put any points into crossbows, it seems like. This just armory is kind of neat. Yeah, let's look at the flying skulls. It just yeah, periodically emits loud, blood-curdling shrieks. They're not particularly dangerous in the regular dungeon, but in the crypts or the tomb where it's very quiet, they can attract the attention of things from far, far away. Ah, Hamlet. Yeah. Hamlet imagining being carted around by zombie Yorick. Hamlet was such a whiner. I get the feeling like Shakespeare wasn't a big fan of Hamlet. I mean, he gave him some cool speeches and stuff, but just the agonizing indecision that plagues his every move, I think, reveals a distaste of that particular character flaw. Perhaps it's something that Shakespeare himself struggled with. Quite a good play, though. If you've never read it or seen a good production of it, I very highly recommend it. Okay, so one of these is silence and the other is holy word. Good to know. Let's just identify one of them. Figure it out once and for all. Okay, so that's holy word. These are very good. They're kind of like reverse torment. They zap everything unholy. I mean, it's sort of eponymous there. But demons, undead, demons and undead primarily. Demons spawn. I think maybe some necromancers, possibly. I don't know. Not sure what all is affected, but basically anything in the extended endgame. The extended endgame being the hells, the halls of pandemonium, the tomb, and ziggurats. The reason why it's called the extended endgame is because, you know, you can end the game by finding the Orb of Zot and hauling it back to the surface with only 3 runes, but there are 12 more runes to find. One in each of the 4 branches of hell, 1 in the tomb, and 5 scattered throughout pandemonium. Yeah. There are 5 that you can find sort of in the regular game. 1 in the slime pits, 1 in the abyss, and then for us it was shoals and spider's nest, and then the vaults. And each rune beyond the 3rd increases your score at the end of the game, so that it does reward you with bragging rights. I think that oh dear, let's haul this dragon upstairs. I didn't fancy the idea of fighting that frost giant with lost a potion. Ow! Stop it! Frost giants have given us more trouble than any other individual monster, cumulatively, I think. Let's back around this corner and just pull this flayed ghost to us alone. Yeah. Not so scary when you're on your own. You don't have your buddies backing you up, are you? Not so scary at all. They're still kind of scary. Spriggans. And air elementals. You can actually play as Spriggans. They are quite good. They are very, very fast. I forget what their movement rate is, but it's super fast. You can run away from most things in the game. With the possible exception of... Ha ha ha, yeah. Fire Dragon did our work for us there. Breathed flame through the simulacrum, which is made out of ice, so it disappeared. Yeah, Spriggans they make very good stabbers. I actually have a Spriggan stabby type that I haven't played in quite some time. I just haven't been in the mood to sneak about particularly. Gosh. More frost giants. Like Frost and Fire Giants are basically the reason why I'm hesitant to take on the Vaults right now. Vaults 5. Because I know that there are going to be a bunch on the bottom level, and I don't know if we can fight 2 Frost Giants at once. I really don't. The thought of that fills me with trepidation. Hesitancy. Mixed with fear. Or dread. Or worry. It's a good word. Oh, there's the... Couldn't see the crossing there through all the steam. Yeah, Yaktars. They do not concern us. Interesting. Oh, okay. Hi. Yikes. Stuff coming from all sides here. Storm Dragon Hide gives you resist electricity. That's it. Or Storm Dragon Armor, rather, made from Storm Dragon Hide. Bone Dragon. I just held down the tab key there for a second. Sure. We do have these evocables. I wonder if this is like a prison. We stumbled upon the... Ooh, a glowing quick blade. I just kind of want to see what that is. A +7, +5 quick blade. Wow, that would be a pretty cool weapon to have. Minimum delay of 0.3. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. I like the Battle Hymn of the Republic. I think it's a really neat song. Whether or not you are a religious person, it's still a very cool song. Fun to sing. Lots of good harmonies that you can mess around with. Long blades at level 20. Cool. Yeah, our skills are getting up there. We're seeing them increase a little more rapidly now that we are consistently fighting really strong stuff. Oh, did we drop our... We did drop our File of the Floods at some point. Oops. Is it back here? Yeah. We have all the elemental evocables. So many of them. I say all in a figurative sense. We have a bunch of them. Ah, these Frost Giants. Killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah. Alright. We're at 200 hit points at level 21, which is pretty good, especially since our fighting isn't even level 15 yet. It's just shy. These cool... I just feel like we're fighting... I guess we'll find out if we can fight 2 Frost Giants at once. If they don't... I mean, if they don't hit us, we're fine. I mean, that's obviously the case with pretty much everything. If they don't hit us, we're good. They're just... the burst damage is... Maybe we would be fine taking on Elf 3. We haven't seen these Annihilators do anything to us particularly. We've encountered a handful of them. I think our damage shaving is just at the point where an Iron Dragon... Iron Dragons, sadly, do not leave hides. Ah, but a Golden Dragon may. Gold Dragons can... Yeah, Gold Dragon Hide. That's one of those things that may just be better than... it may be better than what we're wearing. What does what we're wearing do for us? Dexterity +1, damage +3. Yeah, I think that... Man, this Gold Dragon might be better. Let's see. Let's eat this cheese. and head back to our stash and see if we can't make us ourselves some good armor. It will certainly drop our evasion a bit, which, you know, I'm sad to see, obviously. But I think the boost in armor class would potentially make up for it. I don't know. We have a ton of evocables, so we really only need one of each. I mean, come on. Who are we kidding here? Drop off some of these food things. Gosh, we have so much perma-food. We can last a long time in the extended endgame. We have a bunch of extra wands that we don't really need. 2 charges on a wand of fireball isn't really worth carrying around. Okay, and then we'll inscribe this holy word and drop it off along with some of these other things. Yes, we have used some of our scrolls of enchant armor, which is... Ta-da! Gold dragon armor. Alright, so let's see, it's what is its base? 12? Yeah. It's pretty raunchy. Yeah, its base is the same as this armor's enhanced. Alright, so we're at 3231. That puts us at 3621. It's a big drop in evasion. However, here's the kicker. Look at our resistances. See how few we have. Look at our resistances. See how many we have. A pip of fire, cold, and poison is, I think, worth the evasion loss at this point. We lose out on a little bit of damage. And see, this is only going to get better as our armor skill goes up. We can even turn off dodging at this point. 21 evasion. With armor this heavy, our evasion won't get much higher than this. Or rather, it will get higher than this, but very slowly. So it's more efficient for us to just turn on armor and let that soak up damage. I feel like armor is ultimately more reliable than evasion anyway, in the long run. Yeah, I like this setup. Because soon we can switch to a large shield. Actually, what does this give us? 1 intelligence? Let's see. How much does our evasion drop? Only 1, and our shields goes up by a bunch. 53 versus 37. It's poison resistance, which is redundant, but more useful than 1 intelligence. Okay, now we are getting towards that juggernaut status. We are going to drop these other 2 scrolls of enchant armor into the gold dragon armor. This may last us for the rest of the game. It's very, very possible. Every single scroll of enchant armor we find from here on out, because it can be enchanted up to plus 12. Can you imagine? We could put another 10 points of armor via enchantment into this. Put us up to 48 armor class. Seems pretty good. Yeah. Alright. I'm glad we found that. That's really good. I think we've also been carrying around this amulet of warding for days. Eons. I think this ring it's outlived its usefulness. Hang on to this. We still, I think, really like this ring of dexterity. It still gives us 3 evasion and a point of shields and some damage. If I had 2 of them, I'd probably wear both of them most of the time. Alright, I feel a lot better about our endgame chances now. If we find another large shield... Oh. Shield. Yeah, if we find a large shield with a different enchantment on it, we will snap it up like, I don't know, something that you snap up quickly. Drop a bunch of these scrolls. Alright. See, at this point, I feel comfortable doing Elf 3. And I think that's... oh, dear. Well, this video is 40 minutes long, so I will go ahead and end this here. But when we return, I will probably finish off the Elven Halls, now that we have some resistance to elemental damage. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.